Talking about previous year data, Aurionpro declared their result by 10 a.m. in the morning. They gave the list of selected students and they said that you will have your technical interview today itself, which will start from 2:30 or 3 p.m. So now talking about today's video, I am going to talk about the complete guidance on technical and HR interview of Aurionpro. So I have covered all the questions of multiple candidates in this single video. Also, I'm going to give you a guide of many questions, like how you have to answer these questions so that you won't be rejected. Hence, I request you to watch this video till the end because your test was already not that good. So if you are even selected by luck or chance, you should not do silly mistakes to get rejected in interview. Hello everyone, welcome back to Excel My Way. So Aurionpro conducted their drive today. As I said, there will be many questions based on Java because they work on Java technology. But apart from multiple choice questions, there were coding question also this year. And many candidates are complaining regarding the coding platform of Aurionpro. They are saying that they were unable to save their code or the platform was not working properly. So now let's see how they declare the result or what solution they come up with. So talking about technical interview, the average time will be 20 to 25 minutes. So generally TR will consist of four parts. One is introduction, resume and projects. Second is technical questions based on the languages which you have mentioned in your resume. And oops concepts are the very important questions, or you can say very important topics for any interviewer or for any technical round of any particular company. So whenever you are attempting any technical round of a particular company, you should know what is oops concept. You should have a proper knowledge of its types, its four pillar. Also, you would have noticed that in today's technical assessment you are having coding, and in coding the template which they gave already, they were following the oops concept. Now after this they will ask you question based on DBMS, OS and SQL or MySQL. Now after this they will ask you one or two logic building questions. If you'll answer first one properly, they will not ask you a second one. Otherwise they will ask you one more question to give you another chance. Now talking about one more very important question which generally Aurionpro asks is, do you know about Java? So if you don't know about Java and if you say yes, they will start asking question based on Java and you won't be able to answer them. So you'll be in trouble. So instead of saying yes for Java question, you can just simply say this answer, that sir, I have studied Java in my SEM 3 and I can't recall it much now. Neither I made any project which is based on Java, so I don't remember it much, but I can revise it and recall it easily whenever company needs it. So this is just a simple answer which you can say to them. But this year this answer can also be risky because they conducted a separate coding interview which was based on Java. So they can cross question you that how you cleared your assessment. So that's why I request you to just have a basic overview of what Java is, what is threadings or multi-threadings in Java, and few basic Java interview questions you can study. And if you don't get time to study all of this, you can just simply say the answer which I gave to you. Most probably they will consider that answer because after onboarding they are going to give you a proper training based on Java. Now moving forward, obviously the first question will be, tell me about yourself. So one trick I would like to give you over here, whenever an technical interviewer asks you about your introduction, divert the technical interviewer on the topic in which you are strong enough to answer. Okay, so whenever they ask you about your introduction, tell them your introduction, your degree, college and all, your branch, and after that don't say your family background or which was your 12th standard, college and everything. Just say, if you are strong enough in project, say them that I have done this project. If you are strong enough in technical subjects, say them I'm strong in Python, SQL or Java. Now again, after telling your strong point, divert the interviewer again by telling your short term goal and long term goal. Now many of the time this will create an impact on the interviewer, and instead of asking you the question which they thought of, they will start asking you the question which you mentioned in your introduction. So now after introduction they will ask you about your projects, they will do a brief discussion on it, and they will also ask you about what is your major project, what you are working on, which technology you are working on in your major project. Have you hosted your projects on any website, or do you know other hosting platforms, and do you know about AWS or GCP or Azure cloud services? After that, after asking about all your projects, they will move to technical skills which you have mentioned in your resume. Now next question is, what are joins? So here also one more advice I would like to give you. Whenever they ask you a topic which consists of subtopics or consist of various types of topic, always explain them everything you know about the topic, whether it is about its subtopics or about its variety types of topic. Like joins, whenever you talk about joins, there are multiple types of joins, so you have to explain every joins which you know. And if they ask you about oops concept, then explain oops concept along with its type. Now next, asset property with examples and normalization. Again, in normalization, you just don't have to give the definition. You also have to say about its type: 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, BCNF, and 4NF. Also give the examples. Now next, what is DDL, DML, DCL, TCL commands? Difference between primary key and unique key. What are keys in DBMS and explain its types. Then difference between union and union all in SQL. Next is begin, rollback, and commit of DBMS. Then difference between truncate and delete in DBMS. After that, they will ask you to explain triggers, explain the four pillars of OOPS concepts. After that, they will also give you some example of class, and they will ask you what kind of inheritance it is. Next is difference between abstraction and polymorphism. Next question is real life example of abstraction and polymorphism. Then advantages of OOPS concepts. Then what are classes and objects in OOPS. Then garbage collection in Python. What is garbage collector in Python? Uses of Python. Difference between list and tuple. Then difference between interpreter and compiler. And when do we use for loop and while loop? What is string slicing? Explain with example. Then what is low level and high level language programming? Now when they will ask you about what is polymorphism, so explain them everything. What is compile time polymorphism, runtime polymorphism, method overloading, method overriding, everything. Next is explain inheritance in detail. Then which inheritance is not supported in Java. So if you'll Google it, you'll come to know that multiple inheritance using classes is not supported in Java. Next is few question based on web development. That is different ways to include CSS styling in HTML. What are the tags in HTML which don't have closing tag? Then what are the classes and ID in CSS? And also they have asked few question on operating system, not much. Like they asked one question to one candidate, that what is process. Now as I said that they will ask you some logic building question also, so if you don't answer the first one properly, then they will ask you the second one. So here are some question based on logic building. Now moving forward, if you are selected in technical interview, then you will have one HR or managerial interview in which there will be two people. One is HR and second is manager. Now HR will ask you basic HR based question, and the manager will ask you detailed question on your projects. Now moving forward, HR most of the time can ask you multiple question like this. So you have to listen carefully to them and you have to answer all the question which they ask. So first question is, introduce yourself. Also tell me about your strength, weakness, and major project. Now you can easily tell your introduction and projects because you have already cleared your technical interview. Also you can easily tell your strengths because everybody is pro at showing their strength. But your weakness is very important question. Whenever you are telling your weakness to any HR or manager, see to it that saying your weakness can lead you to rejection. So if you will search on YouTube or internet how to say answer for weakness, you will get answers like, I'm not a multitasker, I can't do multiple work at a time, or I focus on one work with my full 100% concentration so that I can result that work into positive success. So if you will give them this kind of answer, they will just say, you kid, bye bye, you are not an Avenger, we are not hiring you, because in IT industry we need a multitasker. So if you pick up any of the answer from internet regarding your weaknesses, you will see that most of the time HRs will raise a cross question on you, that why this is your weakness, why you have not worked on it, so why should we hire you if you are if you have this weakness. So I have found an answer for this question. That was never cross questioned by any of the HR. I gave this answer to many of my classmates and many people, and no one was cross questioned. So whenever HR asks you about your weakness, say them, I have a habit of helping out people a lot, but most of the time people use me for their work. So now this answer can also be cross questioned by HR, but before the cross question you just add one more line with it, that I help out people a lot, but many of the time people use me. So now I have stopped helping people, and instead of doing their whole work, I just guide them how the work should be done. Now moving forward, they will ask you about your role in your major project. They will also say that tell me about a project which you did not like much. What is the technology of your major project? Why you choose this technology? How many groups in your class have the projects in same technology? Tell me about the project which you are appreciated too much by your project guide or your external faculty. Next is how you will manage any conflicts between your team members. Explain HDLC. What is agile methodology? Also they will ask you that tell me which SDLC method you used in your project. So for this answer always say them that I have used agile methodology. Now if you will study about agile, you'll come to know that why I'm saying this, that when they will ask you about SDLC method which you have used in your project, why you have to answer agile. Now next very important question is, do you have any plans for higher studies? So this question you have to always say no, because if you have plans for higher study, then why you are applying for the company? Then after your graduation you will not join the company, you are just taking this for backup, so they will not hire you. Now next is, are you ready to sign 2 years bond with us? So you have to always say yes, or else you will be rejected. Next is, why should we hire you? Tell me about Aurionpro. So now next question is very tricky. That is, if you have a deadline after 3 days and your partner has not done his work, what will you do? So now this question should be answered very smartly. Okay, so you can say, ma'am, as we followed agile method, we had our task line, date line and deadline mentioned in our logbook. So every task was completed when it was assigned, and whether it is done or not, whether it is creating some issue or error is there, we have sorted that at that time only. So at the time of completion of the work, we won't be having much work. And even after all this preparation, if there will be any pending work at the last moment, then we will sit down together and we will complete it together. Now the last question is, did you select your major project by your own or your faculty assigned you? Okay, so this was all the technical and HR question which were asked previous year by Aurionpro. So start preparing for your technical interview right now, because as I said earlier, that they will announce the result of selected candidates and on the same day they will conduct their technical interview. So you should be ready for that. So go and prepare OOPS concept, your basic languages which you have mentioned in your resume, and go and Google interview questions on Python, interview question on SQL, and see to it that what common interview questions are asked in technical interview, and you can study them. You can also revise SQL, HTML, CSS, DBMS, and don't worry about HR question, because I have covered almost all the HR question, and also I have given my own advice which will not lead you to rejection for HR. So you can join my Telegram channel for the updates, and you can join my Telegram group for asking queries. All the best, prepare well. So thank you everyone for watching out this video. Please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for further notification. Also do like, share and comment down your queries below.